Hey guys, how's it going on? This Bits the Generation here with Real Talk, and today I'll be talking about public perception. And I know it sounds like a weird topic, but let me get into it and then it'll seem clear. Okay, so what I'm going to be talking about is how public perception can basically make or destroy a business. And I don't mean destroy, but well, yeah, I do mean destroy, because with the example that I'm going to use of Comcast, everybody knows that they're terrible. It's not a secret that Comcast is trash. Even in forums everywhere, there's news spreading about how Comcast customer service people have been changing the names of customers on the bill to some unsavory stuff. And that's not cool. And it's just with all of the cable companies, there's some shady crap going around about how they're buddy-buddy with Congress members. It's just, it's just terrible, but everybody knows that. And you can clearly see the oncoming signs, like Title II becoming a reality, and local governments taking over internet providers. You can clearly see that they're on their way out. But with companies that have good public perception, like, I know I made a video about this last week, but Apple and Google are really good at this. Because, like I said, with Apple, their phones cost about $150 to make, not counting for research and design purposes, just to craft. Costs about $100 to $150, and that's because they use really cheap parts. But nobody cares that they use really cheap parts, because they deserve deliver. Okay, they deliver on what most people care about, which is what they see. They have an intuitive interface that doesn't get in your way and helps you do what you want. And they never said anything, they've never really done anything bad. Apple's never Apple's never had any problems with customer service reps. Apple's never intentionally sent out broken iPhones to get money to repair them. That's not something that Apple does. But yet you see that with the ISPs. And I know this is kind of a rant on the ISPs, but they were the only example that I could think of off the top of my head. And if you expect me to put in more effort than that, then you are watching the wrong show. And so, and yeah, with Apple, they deliver on enough fronts so that nobody cares about it. Even now, I still am using an iPhone 4 because my LG G2 broke. I have an upgrade available, but I'm waiting for Mobile World Congress to see what's going to be unveiled. But yeah, I keep going on tangents, but that's what this is all about. And so, Apple delivers on enough fronts that people don't suspect them. And that's good, because they're such a successful company. I looked it up. I remember, so most people know somewhat what AMD is, and everybody knows what Apple is. And so, for those who don't know, AMD is a software company that, okay, it's really on the, it did a lot of good stuff. I know that sounds really weird, but it did a lot of groundbreaking stuff in the early years of computing with the first, I think it was, dual-core processor, the first person to break the gigahertz barrier. Yeah, most people know what I'm talking about. And they have a current market cap of $2 billion. That's a lot of money, but there's a lot more money. There's a lot of other things are more money than that. Like the U.S. debt, $17 trillion. To put that in perspective, that's about 700 times. That's more, 800 times more than the entire market cap, the entire worth of AMD, which is kind of crazy. And then you look at Apple stock, 754 or 754 billion. That's crazy. They must be doing something right if they are able to earn that much money. And even with Google, Google owns basically half the world. And I know that sounds like an over-exaggeration. 80% of 80% of phone users use Android. With that control over the marketplace, that's kind of crazy. And that's for on the world. I believe in America, it's something closer to, oh, I'm going to get flack for this, but it's like 40% use Android. I might be wrong, but whatever. But they own so much stuff. And there was even a thing about Nest smoke detectors not working. I bet $5. Heck, I bet $50 that only one person watching this has heard of that. And that's probably me watching, editing this together. Yes, I do kind of edit this, okay. I consider drag and dropping editing, so, yeah. But, and nobody's heard about that. Okay, the head of Google is like, I had Google Chrome open, and then, here, I need to reselect Audacity. I had Google Chrome open, and I said Google, and it was like, oh, you want me to open Google now? Sorry. Okay. But with Google owning so much of everything, they must be doing something right. And I guarantee you, I've personally never heard anything bad about Google. I don't know what type of wizard crap that is that you have to pull off to have nothing bad about your company in recollection of a tech geek. And I am a self-proclaimed tech geek. I know a lot about computers and phones and everything under the sun. I don't know a lot about the inner workings of computers and phones. I'm still working on that. But, yeah, I know a lot about the industry for a 15-year-old. So trust me when I say that Google is really good at what they do. And you can even see what public perception has to do in real life. I remember when I was playing through the first Walking Dead game by Telltale. I love Telltale. Bring back Sam and Max, please. Sam and Max is my waifu. Okay. But with Walking Dead, playing that game, I know that's kind of cold, but I cared more about what people would think of doing this than what the actual outcomes would be. And it was really funny because I also found myself doing that in real life when I would respond to something that was obviously a pivotal quote unquote point in dialogue, like, do you want to do X time, which might lead to other stuff. And I found myself weighing the outcomes of each choice and seeing the positives and negatives out of each choice logistically in dialogue. And so you can even see how public perception comes into play in real life. And I know this has been like a really rambly thing, but I've had fun making it, so it's not a problem on my part. This is Bits of the Generation, signing off.